I'd like to call to order the Ramsey County Regional Rail Authority. Roll call, please.
Here?
Here.
Here.
Here. Here. Here.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of December 11th.
Move approval.
Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of October 9th.
So moved. Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Item number 4, review corridor project professional technical support services from Minnesota Department of Transportation.
Move approval. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5, agreement with ACOM for on-call engineering services at the Union Depot.
Move approval. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Aye. Yes. Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6, approval of the 2019 Ramsey County Regional Railroad Authority supplemental budget and 2019 tax levy.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. No. Yes.
Aye.
Aye. Corridor updates. Victoria?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Rush Line Policy Advisory Committee and the Rush Line Task Force met about a week and a half ago, moving forward with the process, giving an update on what's happening with the environmental assessment and also the health impact assessment. And a lot of people, myself included, didn't understand exactly what that additional health impact assessment was about. And basically, the environmental review that is going on right now covers all of the things that are required by the federal government to receive funding and making sure that we've got all these, all the information gathered. Community engagement has been phenomenal in trying to get this information out and get input back, more importantly. But the health impact is really about the things that aren't necessarily covered in the environmental review. Things like the perceptions of, there was one issue that came up, the perception that there would be more crime as people were moving through the community, and trying to address that and talk about that. Also about mobility for seniors, and the areas are actually much broader than that, but it's where the impetus came from. And the fact that you've got employers that need to have employees, and how do you get people, the customers, to them as well. And so some of the things like that, the one that I said was really important to me as a senior, being able to age in place was really important. And quite frankly, you can't do that unless if you are no longer able to drive, which is not the case with me yet anyway. But to get to doctor's appointments, to get groceries, to get to social events, so that you are truly having a high quality of life. And so all of those things are part of that health impact assessment and some broad areas. And so that goes along with the environmental review, but it is an important part of what we are moving forward with. The issue of the station in the downtown White Bear Lake, or serving downtown White Bear Lake, was also discussed at length, and moving forward with, okay, what are those options and how does it work? One thing that we have tried to make very, very clear is that a parking ramp in downtown White Bear Lake is really not going to happen. We don't know what will be there. Looking at a number of options on the west side of Highway 61 versus the east side of it. And I'm confident that we'll be able to work through that, just as we are on some of the other stations. You know, in some cases, just tweaking that happens, but really making sure that people understand what's happening, and in many cases, what more importantly, again, is what's not happening. So we're moving forward, and I'm very excited about those next steps.
Thank you. Anybody else?
No, we have a high-speed rail meeting coming up, and a small group has been working on the legislation.
Thank you for all your good work on that.
Mr. Chair, I just want to let you know that the I-35W North Corridor Coalition met on December 6th, and they're getting ready, of course, for the construction of the Min Pass Lane on 35W North that goes from Minneapolis through Roseville, Arden Hills, New Brighton, Blaine, all the way up to Blaine. And so it's going to start in April of 2019. That's coming up here, and it will to be completed in 2021. They have they're seeking now a community involvement person that will get community input on how that is going to happen, and they're working, of course, on the alternative routes that will be going through our communities while that is under construction. So just wanted to let you know that that is happening.
Yeah.
And we're all excited about that parking lot being alleviated a little bit in that whole downtown Roseville area and all the way up to Blaine.
Thank you.
Just one quick comment, Chair. Yesterday, Victoria and I met with two different civic groups related to Rush Line, but also more the Vadnais Sports Center in that whole area. And it's just more of a introduction and high-level conversation. But just quick thanks to Joanna and John Sickfland, who have said we need to start communicating Rush Line and what happens at that intersection with whatever the dome and that whole conversation. So people are hearing one message from the county versus two messages.
Good, thank you. Well, I just want to report on all the activities at the Union Depot. I think 2 Fridays ago was November 30th, and we had the tree lighting and fireworks at the Union Depot. It was a packed house. I couldn't get into the village because the line was at least a 45-minute wait just to get into the village. Lots of kids playing in the depot. We had the tree lighting, fireworks. We've been showing movies where they could camp out on the concourse. Last night, we had the Canadian Pacific come in, and the European market, huge success, the largest yet to date. I can't keep up with the activities. I got to start making a list. But yesterday, we had the Canadian Pacific, where we had the free entertainment. The holiday train came in. Now we have our Polar Express train, which we run throughout the holiday season, but this is the special entertainment train, and we've been lucky that they've chosen St. Paul now for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's a national tour. And what they do is we highlighted, this year it was Keystone Community Services, and we raise money throughout, especially throughout Minnesota, as they come and collect money and donations. We raised well over $10,000 last night alone. And to date, I think I know as of last night, we had over the last 10 days, over 60,000 people attend the Union Depot. And it's not over yet. So I think it's to our credit, this board, that we've been, Union Depot has become very much a place where community gathers and celebrates the season. But we also raise a lot of money for food and for families in crisis during the holidays. And when I talk about the money, I'm not talking about the food donations. didn't get a count on that, but it's huge, the food that comes in for our community. So with that, if there's nothing else, we're adjourned. Thank you. Oh, one last thing. I do want to say, and I've been terrible at this, but I started last night. We really got to say thank you to the Ramsey County staff and the Union Depot staff from JLL, because it's getting to be a big job coordinating this. God, it goes off pretty smooth, and without they really were on top of it. They've done a fantastic job for us. Thank you.
Jim, when is?
5
5
minutes for the
minutes.
workshop, is that 5 minutes?
In case I get in trouble.
Only very